Welcome into the Southfield Cable 15 Game of the Week. Two teams trying to punch a ticket to regionals. This district final between Michigan Collegiate and Bradford Academy. Here are the keys to the game for Michigan Collegiate. Jumping out to an early lead, defending without fouling, limiting the mid-range game for Bradford Academy. The energy, the pace, and controlling the glass will all be very important if they want to pull off an upset today. On the Michigan Collegiate side, players to watch. Dion Black is certainly one to keep an eye on today. Very talented defensive team, but they've got some nice offensive players as well. On the Bradford Academy side of things, Johnny Gresham, one of their key guards. We'll delve into the guard play throughout the course of the broadcast. More coming up on Cable 15.
Morning, Gary. We are GetSchooled.com. You want a college education, don't you? Gary, financial aid forms. Biology homework, G. What? Picking a college, man. You and us go together like tacos and Tuesday.
And I love tacos.
Welcome back to Royal Oak Shrine High School, where this district final is being hosted. As Michigan Collegiate, who took down the host school Shrine as an early three is buried. That's one of their key skills. Deshaun Dixon gets the ball rolling. They're threat from deep all around, especially throughout the starting lineup. You can see how energetic they are defensively as well. For most of the game, you'll see the bench providing energy just like that. So Bradford Academy will have a challenge when it comes to getting to their offensive sets consistently. Johnny Gresham, who we spoke of, tried to dump it down there to Ahmad Badgett, denied. Bradford quickly off to an 0-for-2 start. Disruptive defensive possession to begin for Michigan Collegiate. They're trying to back up their first offensive possession. This time they go down low. And there to deny the shot is Andrew Whitney, typically the tallest player on the floor at 6'6". A guy who is relentless on the glass. They'll need a lot of that today. Gresham tried to dish it to Whitney. Ultimately into the hands of Josh Christian. Now Whitney goes into the post against Dion Black, 6'6" on 6'3". Flying in for the board was Jordan Taylor. And ultimately still a 3-0 lead for Michigan Collegiate after an eventful possession for Bradford that didn't result in the bucket. Open tray, a chance for a second one. Off the iron, but the long rebound favors the offensive team, as it usually does. Trey Redding, number 3 in black, is one to watch. He'll step and fire with a long two that goes down for Redding. 3-sport athlete, wide receiver on the football field, high jump, 110-meter hurdles and 300-meter hurdles in track. And he is a quick guard defensively and offensively. Bradford hoping to answer with a 3, now 0-for-5 to start off this game. On the flip side, it's a 5-0 advantage for Michigan Collegiate. And they try to run for the first time, but that ball will go out of bounds. Sticking in possession with Michigan Collegiate. A triple and a long 2 so far, making up the points for Michigan Collegiate. Make it 2 threes and an 8-0 lead. That's Trey Redding, who we spoke of. I'll take this sec to remind you that you can now watch Cable 15 anywhere you have internet access. Just go to the City of Southfield's website, click on Cable 15, and hit the Cable 15 Live tab. Watch Cable 15 Live on your mobile device, tablet, or computer. back at Royal Oak Shrine, where Michigan Collegiate has jumped out to an 8-0 advantage over Bradford Academy. Again, this game is for a ticket to the regionals. Alfredo Calderon, the head coach for Michigan Collegiate, watching his team get off to a flaming start from deep. That's their first miss from distance so far, now 2 of 3, but another offensive rebound. And Trey Redding can go right back to work. Over to Styles Pettiford, the 5'9" guard. Has 2 older brothers who really helped him learn the game. He drives here into the lane. I believe he drew a foul. He did. Beg your pardon, that's Redding diving to the cup, continuing what's been a nice start so far. Just such a good contested shot maker. We've seen the jump shot on display. That time utilized the athleticism to get to the rim. Also a very good free throw shooter. All of a sudden it's a 9-0 advantage now. Turning defense into offense, but also making tough shots in the half-court sets, as we usually see Michigan Collegiate doing at their best. Jermaine Gresham, crafty guard, trying to get something rolling for Bradford. Defended by Styles Pettiford. Nearly threw it away. Fortuitously into the hands of Taylor. On to Gresham for 3, and he drew a foul. Sometimes you go to the free throw line and you find a rhythm there. Maybe that's just what the doctor ordered for Bradford Academy as they hope to get the ball rolling offensively here. Gresham couldn't knock down the first free throw. When he's knocking down the three-point shot, an added bonus to how crafty he is around the rim, has such a nice touch and feel. Able to get the first free throw to drop, and it doubles as the first points of the game for Bradford Academy. Coming a few minutes in, nearly 4 minutes in, I should say. Michigan Collegiate is the favorite in this matchup. For Bradford, they'll need multiple guys to get the job done today and find a rhythm offensively if they want to keep Michigan Collegiate on their toes. But right now, it's Bradford Academy, the Bulldogs, really on their heels, especially on this end of the floor. Trying to figure things out defensively. Long tray off the front of the rim. And finally, it doesn't result in an offensive board for Michigan Collegiate. That's been an early issue as well for Bradford Academy. That bench reaction for Michigan Collegiate is interesting. Sometimes you hear coaches who don't want any noise on the bench. They want it to be total business, keep the seriousness level. But for Michigan Collegiate, that's a part of their fabric, that energy, imploring their teammates on defensively. Really feed off of that, and you'd imagine for the vast majority of this unusual season without crowds, how much that must have helped. I believe that shot may have been partially deflected by Deshaun Dixon. On a second chance, though, filling it up is Dantes Federson. And beg your pardon, that's Josh Christian, who finds the first field goal of the night for Bradford Academy, coming nearly 5 minutes in to this opening quarter. We're going to get our first couple of substitutions coming in here. On the floor right now for Bradford Academy, Johnny Gresham. Jordan Taylor with the basketball right now. Ahmad Badgett. Taylor tries a tough three and connects. A big shot there, and all of a sudden it's a quick 7-0 run for Bradford Academy. So much needed for this lineup that's also featuring Andrew Whitney in the front court at the moment with Josh Christian. Corner three, trying to answer back. Couldn't. Flying in for the offensive rebound, however, was Scott. Rather, Dion Black. Black, the 6'3", kind of small forward slash power forward. They can rotate him from the 3 to the 4 when needed. Also a quarterback on the football field, so naturally sees the game well when you carry over that skill. Second team East Division in 2020. Able to extend the lead back up to 4. Shade under 3 to play in this opening quarter. It saw Michigan Collegiate jump out to a 9-0 lead. Taylor hoping for three, number 2. Off the iron, tapped out of bounds, and this will head back in the direction of Michigan Collegiate. Back cut and a beautiful finish on the part of Redding. Just an absolutely slickly orchestrated play on the part of Michigan Collegiate. And Redding has showcased the jump shot and now the athleticism at the rim as well. Taylor couldn't connect. All of a sudden the rhythm picks up in this one. Michigan Collegiate has scored back-to-back buckets after the 7-0 run from Bradford. 90 seconds left in the opening quarter. That's number 3 for Michigan Collegiate. This time, Davon Robinson joins the party from distance. Honorable mention, East Division a season ago. Stretches the lead back up to 9. So Michigan Collegiate counters it with an 8-0 run of their own. Taylor rains home a tray. Rather, that was Gresham, who we talked about has a crafty game at the rim, but can step back and knock down the 3-2. You have to keep head on a swivel at the opposite end because Redding is firing a tray of his own, couldn't connect. All of a sudden, a loose ball on the floor, and with 53 3/10 of a second to go in this first quarter of play, we'll have a stoppage as the pace picks up a bit. Robinson was hoping for three, number 2. Couldn't connect, and back comes Taylor. In the backcourt with Gresham, finds his backcourt mate. Mid-range jumper came up short. And Josh Christian. Remember, no shot clock in the state of Michigan, so half a minute to play. Theoretically, Bradford Academy could wind down the clock and play for the last shot here. Potentially cutting it to a 4 or 3-point game. Short-range jumper again came up strong from Christian. And now an ample amount of time for Michigan Collegiate to get into their set. Open 3, that's what they love. Rebound falls into the hands of Gresham. who still has a second left, heaves off the window. And that'll do it for quarter number 1 here at Royal Oak Shrine. The district final off to a spicy start. Michigan Collegiate jumped out to a 9-0 lead. Bradford countered. And it's a 6-point game after 1. We'll step aside on Southfield Cable 15. You're watching the game of the week.
There are a lot of ways to reach out to a friend about their mental health. Learn how you can help at seizetheawkward.org.
You examine the first quarter. Bradford Academy didn't register their first field goal until about 5 minutes, nearly 5 minutes into the opening 8 minutes of play. So we'll see if they can flip that around here with the opening possession of the second. The guy who can help them get rolling is Jordan Taylor. Dishes it off to his backcourt mate, Johnny Gresham, the 5'10 junior, defended by Pettiford. Ahmad Badgett is a guy who they love to get going in the passing lane. Look who it is once again, Trey Redding. Talked about his speed offensively. Here it is defensively. Nearly came away with it. Momentum just carried him out of bounds. Gresham, a nice, crafty player at the rim. Again, Royal Oak Shrine High School, the host site for this district final between Bradford Academy and Michigan Collegiate. Taylor using his speed to get to the rim, too strong off the glass, and back comes Pettiford. Up ahead, didn't see Collegiate run a ton in the first quarter, but they get going in transition there, and Davon Robinson is the beneficiary. 8-point lead now for Michigan Collegiate. Shade under 7 to play, little over a minute in to this second quarter. Badgett, he's a depth three-point shooter, but Michigan Collegiate has really defended the perimeter well so far in this game. On the opposite end, Michigan Collegiate has already drained a few threes of their own. So defending the perimeter, but on the opposite end offensively, cashing in from deep. Gresham to inbound here. The cut from Badgett denied, but a foul. So we'll see if maybe the free throw line is where Bradford Academy can get going. First one comes up short from Badgett, who again, excellent three-point shooter, excellent rebounder as well, can vacuum in double-digit boards on any given night, but has really been stymied offensively, and even at the free throw line, yet to get a groove going. 0 for 2 on that trip. Robinson, we saw him capitalize in transition to get the quarter going. This time finds Pettiford, who navigates to the rim. Couldn't quite finish. And we'll see which way they take this. A very smart play on the loose ball from Dion Black. He just barely caught it in time and threw it off the leg of the Bradford player there, as you see D. Burks, the head coach for Bradford Academy, a bit flustered, trying to find a way to get his team going offensively and get stops at this end of the floor. We'll get a tie-up that favors Michigan Collegiate. And then a couple of substitutions as well. Again, Michigan Collegiate, you look at the score right now, up 18-10, 6:04 to play in this second quarter. A group that defensively limited Shrine to 31 points in the prior round of districts. Won that one 49-31. Now hoping for back-to-back games of keeping the opponent under 40. They're on pace to potentially do that right now. In the corner, open three. It's Pettiford. Book it. Styles Pettiford drains a tray. It's the fourth of the opening half for Michigan Collegiate. And a game-high 11-point lead as well. Turnover. Back comes Michigan Collegiate once again. 2 on 3. We'll see if they opt to back it out here or go up. They do go up with it. Pettiford once more, make it a 13-point advantage. And once again, a slow start to a quarter for Bradford Academy. First points for Bradford Academy didn't come until about 3 minutes in to the first quarter. Same story here in the second. They're yet to score. Can Taylor change that story? Maybe he can at the free throw line. Taylor, the 6'1" junior guard. See the replay here. Beautiful pump fake. Got a couple of black shirts in the air. Also runs track and field. Reads the game very well. He's been one of their primary sources of offense when Bradford Academy has capitalized so far. That's now 3 consecutive missed free throws, by the way, for the Bulldogs. So Taylor goes 1 for 2. Still a 12-point game, however. The double comes on Dion Black, so he kicks it out. And the triple try from Redding came up short. Second chance and a third off the mark. Nearly saved it once more. The glass has certainly favored Michigan Collegiate in this opening half of play. Overall on the floor, they are the kind of the bigger, taller group when you look at both sides. Several players over 6 foot on the Michigan Collegiate roster. Gresham on the floor with Badgett, Taylor, Josh Christian as well. Badgett trying to get going from the mid-range. Couldn't hit the 15-footer. They need his jump shot to be involved, typically when the offense is flowing well, but just have not really had that tonight thus far from Badgett. He's also missed a couple of free throws. Pleasure to have you with us for this district final on Cable 15 into the latter stages of the opening half. Producer Art Ford, Ricardo, and Dave on the cameras today. Denial at the rim that time from Christian, and it went all the way to the far sideline. Looks like it'll stay with Michigan Collegiate. Isaac Wilson checks in. He's a guy who gives them some nice depth minutes off the bench. Here's a player who's on the floor more often than not. Pettiford into the corner. Another three goes down for Michigan Collegiate. It is Wilson right off the bench. Drains the triple, the 5th of the game for Michigan Collegiate, and it's a 15-point lead. Double clutching tray at the other end, off the mark from Taylor, and back comes Michigan Collegiate with their largest lead of this district final. Another three, open in the corner again, but strong. Unusual moment there from Redding in this game, who has been so efficient, whether it's the mid-range shot contested, three-pointers at the rim. He has been really fun to watch. And they will reset the offense in the corner. Wilson again, around and out. Offensive board. That's become the norm so far for Michigan Collegiate in this one. A third chance leads to a foul. So 1, 2, third time's the charm. Leads to 2 free throws here. Wilson, as I mentioned, he gives them some nice depth minutes off the bench. Comes in, knocks down the three, and his forte is really on the glass, the aggressiveness. You see his height. Utilized it there to earn a couple of free throws, hoping to go 1 for 2 here. Comes up shy, so 0 for 2. Nonetheless, still a very comforting lead on the neutral site floor here for Michigan Collegiate with a little over 2 to play in this opening half. Gresham, tough pull-up. That's what the shots have looked like more often than not for the Bulldogs. Contested, challenged, in the midst of traffic. Travel called there, a bit over-anxious that time from Wilson. On the first step. Badgett has been bottled up in the opening half. Able to scoot his way past Dion Black. And I believe we got a goaltending call there, so the basket will count. It was basket interference on Wilson. So Badgett there, maybe it's getting to the rim for him instead of the deep game today, which he, as we noted, a very capable three-point shooter. But cuts the lead down to 13. Bradford Academy's win that helped them reach this final came over Madison Heights, 54-49, so a little less cushion than Michigan Collegiate had against Royal Oak Shrine. And they won that matchup 49-31. Again, new possession, but same story. One, not just two, but three chances, and it leads to 2 more free throws for Wilson. They have now missed 3 consecutive free throws, so we know that both sides play an intense brand of basketball. Both coaches, Dee Burks and Alfredo Calderon, you'll typically see them standing up more often than not and very intense. So you know that Calderon on the Michigan Collegiate side won't let up. He doesn't want to see those potential opportunities to pad this lead go by the wayside. Beautiful pump fake, and a J goes down for Gresham. So good to see him get going. Gresham has played the vast majority of this opening half. Now a bit of a miscommunication in the backcourt. Michigan Collegiate didn't have anyone to take the inbound, but now they have numbers, 5 on 4. Couldn't capitalize. Wilson strips it away, and they can reset with just about 60 seconds to go in quarter number 2. In no particular hurry, no shot clock, letting it breathe a little bit. Maybe they will play for this final shot. They could. There's no shot clock. You wonder at the high school level in a possession like this, you're not, I guess they're used to it, but how you manage not to get lulled to sleep, because it appears as though Michigan Collegiate will certainly play for the final shot, and now things pick back up a bit. Davon Robinson with 12 seconds. Deshaun Dixon with 10. D. Burks pleading his team to rotate with 3 seconds. Doesn't look like Michigan Collegiate, after all of that, will get a shot off. And we'll head to break. What was a fun, spicy first half of action from Royal Oak Shrine. District final action for your game of the week on Cable 15. 12-point advantage for Michigan Collegiate after 2 quarters of play. Bradford Academy, for the second consecutive quarter, will have the opening possession here, and they have really struggled at the beginning of quarters so far. Through the first 2, they haven't scored in the first 3 minutes of either the first or second quarter. So can they flip that script around here in the third? And they go to Andrew Whitney, their 6'6" power forward, and he does just that. And 1 for Whitney. And for the first time in this game, Bradford Academy has scored within the first minute of a quarter. And Whitney is the tallest player on the floor more often than not. At 6'6" and relentless on the glass. But as we talked about earlier in that first half, a key point was, as Whitney is off on the free throw, Michigan Collegiate earning not only second, not only third, but sometimes fourth chance opportunities. I mean, multiple times. The pull-up J off the mark there from Dion Black, and the Bulldogs, who haven't been able to run up and down the floor a lot today, draw a foul in transition there. Michigan Collegiate also defended the perimeter very well in that first half of play. So not only did they limit the transition game, but also the perimeter game too. And those are obviously 2 key elements of basketball in 2021. Your perimeter shooting and your ability to run. Just a 10-point game, though. Still plenty of time left. Jermaine Gresham handling right now. Beg your pardon, Johnny Gresham. Over to Jordan Taylor, his backcourt mate. Gresham squeezes his way into the paint. Couldn't get the roll. Back comes Michigan Collegiate. Into the lane. Off the mark that time on the part of Dixon, but they'll reset as they have so often throughout the course of this game. Going right back to the post, a foul called. Dion Black earns a couple of free throws. Again, second team East Division player in 2020. A quarterback on the football field and one of the team leaders of this Michigan Collegiate group. .12-point game now, shade under 7 to play in this third quarter. It's a Michigan Collegiate team that also lost some talented players to graduation a year ago, but love the group that they have entering this postseason. And again, this is our district final tonight, so both of these teams hoping to punch a ticket to regionals. Badgett to Gresham for 3. Long 3. They're strong off the iron, and Trey Redding, who had a relatively quiet second quarter after a hot start to this game, works his nifty handle against Badgett. Black defended by the taller Whitney. It's been a fun matchup today. Black has to reset. Redding calls for a bit of space. Around a screen into the 6'6" body of Whitney and drew a foul. We get another foul called, this time down low. And it'll be Isaac Wilson heading to the free throw line. Wilson provided some valuable minutes off the bench in that first half for Bradford Academy, beg your pardon, for Michigan Collegiate. And a guy who just down low on the glass, whether it's drawing fouls, earning trips at the free throw line, can also stretch the floor, knock down the three. I mean, he's a player who you love to have just substitute in at the end of a quarter for that extra leg of energy. Bit of a collision there. Taylor maybe shaking up a tad after colliding with Robinson, and then kind of a double whammy as Bradford turns it over on an illegal screen there. Shade under 5.5 left in this third quarter. The largest lead for Michigan Collegiate in this game has been 15. They're trying to make it 16. It could potentially be 17 on an and one opportunity here. Deshaun Dixon just showcasing the strength. The free throw line has been an issue for both teams. Dixon unable to capitalize. Nonetheless, a turnover, and Redding, I believe, may have, they're going to say it was tapped out of bounds, so no foul, but what is now a game-high 16-point advantage for Michigan Collegiate on this neutral site floor. This time an offensive foul called on Michigan Collegiate. As Trey Redding tried to work around the Dion Black screen. The pull-up came up short. Jordan Taylor, who again has been, when Bradford has found a bit of a rhythm offensively, he's been an integral part of that. So can they get him rolling as Badgett defends Dixon tightly. Black on the dribble drive, got it to go. And the entire bench flexes their muscles in celebration of what is now a game-high 18-point advantage. Gresham out of the corner goes Taylor, ran into trouble, has to reset. Just about every shot has been contested so far, but Gresham was able to sneak his way past the defense and find a nice look from 18 feet out there. Jordan Taylor on the floor with Johnny Gresham, Ahmad Badgett as well, playing that small forward role for Bradford Academy. It's a relatively small lineup right now for them with no Andrew Whitney on the floor. Jalen Downer out there as well with Emmanuel Jones. This Michigan Collegiate team, again, trying to hold back-to-back opponents in this district region to under 40 points. And they're on pace to do that right now. A rare second chance opportunity for Bradford. Collegiate has been so good on the glass, defensively and offensively today. And that shot was partially deflected and blocked. Credit Dion Black. He can also handle the ball. Carries it into the front court, then gets it right back in the post. Against the smaller Badgett, draws a double team. It was saved, but Collegiate will reset. Again, doubling Black. So that leads to an open cut, but a travel call. It was a bit of a late call there. Down the left side of the lane went Dixon. It seems like every other name we talk about on this Michigan Collegiate team today has chipped in at some point or another. We talked about how Trey Redding got off to the hot start, then maybe cooled down a little bit offensively, but as Badgett takes a three that was blocked, he still is unable to get his jump shot going today. The length on the perimeter is amazing from this Michigan Collegiate team. But back to the points offensively. Even though Redding has maybe quieted down a bit, perhaps it doesn't matter because the next guy has taken over and contributed. It's been Dixon, it's been Redding, it's been Black. Each guy has found their moment so far to kind of go on a little individual spurt. And that has aided to keeping Bradford off balance defensively in this game. Gresham once again, a little leaning floater, came up short. And now back comes Michigan Collegiate. Redding, pretty pirouette, and he drew a foul. Are they going to say, we'll see what the call is here. It may have been a travel prior to the bump. I believe that is what they called. So with 80 seconds to play in this third quarter, and Bradford with a high hurdle to climb, but hoping to set themselves up potentially for success in the fourth, but they need a good final minute here. Seems as though every driving lane is taken away. They switch so well. Long three from Taylor over the arms of Dixon. Couldn't connect. At the end of the second quarter, we saw Michigan Collegiate drain the clock all the way down. That didn't work out for them. This time, a quick shot from Redding, perhaps a little too quick. Maybe Bradford can settle for the final shot here. They won't get it as Gresham has a play that just about sums up what's been a frustrating night offensively for the Bulldogs. Dixon double clutches and draws a foul. You also wonder how fatigue may begin to play a role for a Bradford team that naturally, with not very many on the roster, doesn't have the deepest bench in the world. Mentally as well, where are they at this moment? Taylor hoists and hits. That's a three to make it a 14-point game. We'll step aside on Cable 15 after three in this district final. 14-point advantage for Michigan Collegiate. Hoping to punch a ticket to regionals when we come back.
The average text takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds. Stop the texts. Stop the wrecks. Visit us at stoptextsstopwrecks.org.
Fourth and final quarter of action from Royal Oak Shrine High School, the host of this regional site. Beg your pardon, this district site. A beautiful gym that Royal Oak Shrine has had now for a few years, this new field house. They used to play at a different location within the school that is now primarily used for gatherings, assemblies, and whatnot. But this field house, which was helped out through donations, is a beautiful site. You can see in some of our shots the in-gym, I guess I can call it. They have their workout facility right to the right of your screen there, at the top of your screen, really. It's kind of hidden behind the glass, but a really nice workout facility in the field house, in addition to this gym. Locker rooms as well. There's a shot of D. Burks once again on the Bradford sideline. A wonderful transition bucket. You, again, wonder defensively right now and offensively where the fatigue is for Bradford. That was about as easy as it gets to push it up the floor. I mean, they simply beat Bradford up the floor on that occasion. Taylor trying for a three. Would have been his second of the half had it gone down. The slip to the rim again. It's Collegiate finding a way to get behind Bradford defensively. In basketball, you're taught to stay between your man and the basket. Bradford has not done that so far in this second half. And one goes down at the free throw line as Michigan Collegiate begins to work a bit more into their bench. McQuan McLean, a very capable rebounder based off how many second chance points we see him get. Another guy who runs track as well. Capable scorer. That's kind of something that actually plays into the conditioning of this Michigan Collegiate team, is that you do have several guys who keep up their bodies in the offseason by way of running track. Some of the players right now, as we dip into the latter stages of basketball season, are starting up those practices. So busy time with the kind of school beginning to get into the latter stages of second semester. Track season picking up. But right now, the top priority is this district final. And it's a 17-point lead for Michigan Collegiate. Largest advantage was 18 in the first half. Again, a cluster at the rim. We got a foul on the baseline, 5:43 to go in the fourth. Gresham is so adept with those pump fakes. That's something they teach at Bradford Academy, is getting on the baseline, and you can tell with several of their guards, they know when to go up and draw the foul. We talked about basketball in 2021 how important the perimeter game is. Transition buckets. Typically in transition, you may see people settle for, I guess not settle anymore, but take the three over settling for the layup is maybe where basketball is at nowadays. But also the art of drawing fouls has become an interesting topic in the game we all love. We kind of had a conversation about it, but James Harden has somewhat changed the game over the years when it comes to sneakily drawing fouls. Discreetly, if that's a better word to use. I'm not entirely sure if sneakily is in the dictionary, but discreetly finding ways to draw contact. And how those pump fakes are utilized. But then there's the conversation as well about when it comes to shooting on the perimeter, making sure you're giving the shooter space to land. Does the shooter have more of an advantage when it comes to that? Well, all interesting things that have kind of played a role at each level of basketball. Take a moment to remind you that you can follow Cable 15 Sports on Twitter to find out when the next game will be covered, the time the game will air, scores, and highlights. It's hashtag Cable 15 Sports and at Cable 15 Sports. And since you're on Twitter already, you might as well check out Cable 15 Sports' Instagram page to see photos of the game. And that's also at Cable 15 Sports on Instagram. A wonderful crew on hand tonight for this district final. Producer Art Ford, Ricardo and Dave behind the cameras. 5:20 to play in a game that appears to be decided as Michigan Collegiate will try to advance to the regional section of the tournament. And it appears as though they are en route to hold opponents to under 40 in back-to-back games. Again, Michigan Collegiate beat Shrine Catholic, the host school, in the prior round. This is Taylor at the free throw line, where Bradford has struggled so far. You wonder if maybe they knocked down a few more at the charity stripe early on, if it could have brewed momentum. Perhaps something to look back on. You never want to have things after a game where you're saying, what if we did this or what if we did that? But it certainly has played a key role, and Michigan Collegiate hasn't been the most efficient at the line either, but they have capitalized. Again, got off to that really hot start from three-point range. Drained 3 of their first 4. They have 5 total from deep in this one. We get a substitution in here. Dion, beg your pardon, we have Jalen Downer checking in for Bradford. Sean Dixon with under 5 to play, working against Gresham. And we get a foul called. A nifty move at the rack there from Gresham. We talked about his craftiness around the rim. It's fun to watch. Now he'll try to run in transition. Nearly traveled, then just scooped it up. Couldn't quite get the roll. We'll get a tie up here. 4:13 to play in this fourth quarter. 40-27 is the Michigan Collegiate lead. Back-to-back buckets now for Bradford. The other way, Michigan Collegiate trying to answer but couldn't. All of a sudden, an 11-point game. Could be single digits. It is. So a spurt of energetic basketball from a Bradford team that ultimately didn't give in. And we'll take this moment to remind you that you can also check out our other YouTube channel, Southfield Multimedia Services. You can check out different shows such as Cable 15 News, Business Matters, Author's Den, and many others. That is the Southfield Multimedia Services YouTube channel. Nine-point game. Closest Bradford has been since the opening half. Michigan Collegiate led by as much as 18 in this second half. Another turnover. That has been the vastly what has changed around in the last few minutes of this fourth. It hasn't been the most aesthetically pleasing fourth quarter by any means, but Michigan Collegiate has turned it over several times. Fouls. Maybe you could say Bradford has turned this game into a bit of an uglier one than Michigan Collegiate would like. And the shots haven't fallen for most of the game for the Bulldogs as Taylor steps back, tried to hit a tough one. But the shots really haven't gone down most of this game, so they're doing it differently now, which we thought they would have to do. Gresham drains a three. It's a 6-point game. 3:14 to go in the fourth. At one point, it was an 18-point advantage for Michigan Collegiate, but the script has flipped over the last several minutes of this game. An extended run for Bradford, and it will be Trey Redding with a chance to stem the tide at the line. Couldn't do it. We talked about the Bradford missed free throws, but the Michigan Collegiate missed free throws as well. This could still be a double-digit game right now if Collegiate had drained more free throws. 0 for 2, but an offensive rebound. Should be a tie-up. It is, but it'll stick with Michigan Collegiate. So the wind has been directly injected right back into the sails of Bradford Academy, but a derailing inbounds play that Bradford would love to have back there defensively. Just kind of lost track of Styles Pettiford there, an easy two, and it's back to an 8-point advantage. Under 3 to play, still plenty of time. To the rim goes Gresham, looking for a shooter's roll, couldn't find it. Backcourt pressure leads to a couple of black shirts leaking out into the front court. They capitalize easily, and it's back to a 10-point game. Timeout called by D. Burks. We'll step aside, 2:41 to go in this district final. Back on Southfield Cable 15, our game of the week. A Bradford team that once trailed by 18 got as close as they had been since the first half. Cut the lead to 6 at one point. But now they'll have to get back in transition again. Gresham did very well to do so. Forced a turnover. And the Bulldogs are certainly still in this game. You look at the energy of Gresham there. He has played practically every minute of this matchup, but still running as hard as ever in transition defensively. Can't overstate how much you love to see that as a coach. And at the offensive end, it's his backcourt mate, Taylor, gliding to the rim. A guy who's preparing for track season just blew by the defense. Reading a bit late, and a foul called. So 2 monumental free throws. Taylor has struggled at the line today. Got the first to drop. So 8-point game after Taylor hits both. This feels like an important defensive possession to strip from Gresham. Loose ball. And we get a timeout called. So that'll take us into reminding you that you can now watch Cable 15 anywhere you have internet access. Just go to the City of Southfield's website, click on Cable 15, and hit the Cable 15 Live tab. Watch Cable 15 live on your mobile device, tablet, or computer. A cut to the rim out of the timeout. Denied. Again, just a single-digit game. Can Gresham make it a 2-possession battle? Oh, nice step back, but couldn't connect. And then swatted in the following attempt there was Christian, and that'll give the possession. It'll stick with Bradford here. 1:48 to play. So Gresham to inbound. And blocked at the rack once again. So back-to-back blocks for this Michigan Collegiate team. That's been a key part of what they've done defensively today. The length has disrupted Bradford inside and out. Was that maybe the stop they needed? Back-to-back blocks. Can it lead to 2 at the other end? A charge called. So the bucket will not count. And Bradford maybe gives themselves one last gasp to breathe into the final 90 seconds. District final night. Michigan Collegiate hoping to hang on and punch their ticket to regionals. 1:15 to play. Downer, who came off the bench in this fourth quarter, Around and out. That's 3 consecutive missed buckets at the rim for Bradford over the last 30 seconds, and now they have to foul. This is Trey Redding at the line. Connects on the first, a big free throw there. I beg your pardon, it was just the one free throw, so 45-36, 60 seconds to play. Long three off the iron from Gresham. Board is hauled in. Now an intentional foul in the backcourt on the aggressive play there. So now for Michigan Collegiate, McQuan McLean at the line. Gets it back up to a 10-point game. So increasing the odds, most definitely in the favor of Michigan Collegiate now. $11-point advantage. In a valiant effort down the stretch from Bradford, but 4 consecutive missed buckets at the rim now, 3 of which were blocked. Make it 5 misses in the paint after the extended run, and just half a minute to go. Taylor knocked down a couple of threes in the first half. Couldn't find the range from distance in the final 2 quarters. Another intentional foul, and the ticket should be punched for Michigan Collegiate to waltz their way into the regionals. Deion Black off on the front end. Oh for 2, but time is dwindling on this comeback effort. It should be all cosmetic now from a scoring standpoint. Michigan Collegiate fans who traveled to Royal Oak for this one on their feet. The bench is up as they have been for the vast majority of this game. Styles Pettiford with the privilege of icing it. And they'll also hold back-to-back opponents to under 40 points. The aggressive, energetic defense that has gotten them to this point lived up to the billing for the vast majority of this game. Had one dry spell offensively that Bradford pounced on. Nonetheless, Collegiate will survive and advance, as they say around this time of the year. Taking a look at some of your top performers from today. Michigan Collegiate really spread the wealth around, didn't they? Redding, McLean, Dixon, Pettiford, all contributing. Just a fun performance to watch all around from them. A complete game, offensively and defensively. The player of the game, however, Dion Black, the 6'3", small forward, power forward, a versatile guy who got it done inside and out today. Again, a second-team East Division player a year ago, what was an absolute vacuum on the glass. 13 rebounds, gave his team second chance after second chance bucket, an opportunity in this one. So Black will be your player of the game in the regional final on Cable 15. It was a pleasure to bring this one to you. Michigan Collegiate and Bradford in the district final. What turned out to be a double-digit win for Michigan Collegiate. A pleasure to bring it to you. Producer Art Ford, Dave and Ricardo behind the cameras. I'm Jason Ross Jr. saying so long.